Hello friends and welcome back to another Build with Bill. Today we are going to build ourselves a bard in Castles and Crusades.
I know more than you.
Bards in Castles and Crusades are a little bit different if you're more familiar with like D&D 5e. So I will go through the whole package and illustrate how they are really awesome in this game. But first, I think we should roll some dice, don't you? Okay, so I have some rolls. So where I place those is obviously going to be very strategic. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, what should this bard have? Good charisma is obviously crucial because in Castles and Crusades, charisma is one of their prime attributes. I would guess also that maybe dexterity would be helpful. In this game, they can wear breastplates, chain shirts, Greek ensembles, laminar leather, regular leather, leather coats, padded, ringmail, studded leather. So they could wear some armor, but not like super heavy armor. They might need something like intelligence, but let's see how their skills work before we actually place their rolls. At first level, they have 1d10 hit points. They have some abilities that involve both charisma and intelligence. So that gives us a thought. We probably don't want to make intelligence a dump stat. We probably want their intelligence to be pretty decent. So one of their first abilities is Decipher Script, and this is an intelligence-based roll. Bards often need to decipher and interpret legends and secret writings to acquire more knowledge. This ability allows the bard to decipher writing in an unfamiliar language, a message written in an incomplete or archaic form, or a message written in code. If the check succeeds, the character understands the general content of a piece of writing. It takes 10 minutes to decipher each page of a script. A Decipher Script check may be made only once per writing. A bard may use this ability to decipher and then use an arcane scroll as a wizard or illusionist would, if a successful check is made at a penalty of -10. This ability may not be used to decipher divine scrolls. Still a pretty awesome ability at first level to have. The bard's next really cool ability at first level is called Exalt. Let's learn about what that means. This is the bard's ability to inspire companions and listeners, allowing them to surpass their normal level of performance. Some bards invoke this ability through song and music, while others do so through oration, battle cries, or sheer acting and demeanor. With a successful attribute check, a bard can help allies succeed at a task. The ally gets a +2 bonus on any action requiring an attribute check, including class ability checks, saving throws, and standard ability or attribute checks. This ability does not affect attack rolls. The allies must be able to see and hear the bard, and must be within 60 feet. The castle keeper may rule that certain uses of this ability are infeasible. The bard can use this ability once per day per level, and can maintain the effect for a number of rounds equal to the bard's level. The bard can take other actions while using this ability, unless the castle keeper rules otherwise. Okay, so my understanding of Exalt is kind of like Castles and Crusades version of Bardic Inspiration. It is definitely not as good, maybe, as Bardic Inspiration would be in D&D 5e. I don't think that the +2 bonus is really all that awesome. Although, it is better in some respects, because it affects all the allies that can hear the bard within that range. So that's a trade-off. Bardic Inspiration is basically a gift to one ally that a bard can bestow to improve their chances on a roll. And it's more dice potential, so like the ability to have a 1d8 bonus to a roll or a check is kind of huge, but it only affects one person. Whereas this Exalt is all of their allies within a 60-foot range who can hear them. So if you have a group of 5 people and you do this Exalt thing, all of your buddies automatically get that +2 bonus. That is kind of cool. So basically for the next round, all of your buddies and allies get a +2 to an attribute check, class ability check, saving throw, or standard attribute check. So any action. However, it does not affect attack rolls. I have mixed feelings about this. I think on the one hand, it's cool that you can affect everybody in the area. So say, for example, that your party, like everybody is making some kind of check or saving throw. If you do your Exalt ability, you're going to give everybody a +2 to that roll, which is very helpful. All of your allies within that range. Or say everybody has to make like a strength check to swim across like this raging river. If you do your Exalt, everybody gets a +2 to that roll, which is really helpful. Or let's say everybody has to make some dexterity check to, walk across this very narrow, rocky ledge. Being able to give that bonus to all of your friends that following round is kind of beneficial. And the fact that you can do it, as you level up, that it lasts more than one round is kind of cool too. It's also kind of not as cool that only lasts for one round, and it's also not as cool that it doesn't affect attack rolls. It would be kind of cooler if it did. Does your group who's playing Castles and Crusades make a house rule that it does actually add to attack bonus? Because I think as a DM, I would allow that. It would make the bard kind of more helpful to me. That's just my thought. The third ability that they get starting off right off the bat at first level is called Legend Lore, and that is a charisma ability, which I think is kind of interesting because I would associate Legend Lore with intelligence, kind of like Decipher Script, but in this game they're making it charisma based. So bards are lore masters of myth and archaic knowledge. With a successful attribute check, a bard gains or remembers some relevant information about local notables, a legendary item, a noteworthy place, or any other relevant bit of information. Gaining the information may entail speaking to a local inhabitant or doing research. The information might prove useful in diplomacy, entertaining, or otherwise influencing others. The ability also might impart a full or partial understanding of local or secret languages, including Rogue's Cant, the secret druidic language, or ranger signs. The check will not reveal the powers of a magic item, but may give a hint to its history, general function, or activation. The castle keeper gauges the challenge level of the check based on whether the knowledge is common, uncommon, obscure, extremely obscure. Common would constitute information known by at least a substantial minority of the local population. Uncommon would be the information is known by only a few people in the area, though easy to track down. Obscure means that the information is known by a few but rather hard to come by. Or extremely obscure would mean the information is known by very few scholars and sages, possibly forgotten by most who once knew it, or possibly known only by those who don't understand the significance of the knowledge. I don't see any limitations on how often you could do legend lore. It doesn't say like once per day. I mean, maybe that's really the strong suit of the bard in Castles and Crusades, more as a functioning legend lore keeper of knowledge, that kind of stuff. So let's fill in the blanks and finish making our bard. And we have chosen to make a bard today, so I am class bard. Race is going to be human because why not? That just makes things easier. And I'm going to be chaotic good because happy. All right, so as a human, I'll have a movement speed of 30. Now, let's assign those attributes, shall we? First of all, bards get, as a prime attribute, they get charisma as a prime. So I'm going to darken in that little circle right there. Can you see that, sweet baby Carafa? All right, and then as a human, I'm going to pick 2 more prime attributes. So I think I'm going to do intelligence because that affects their ability to decipher script and recall information. And then dexterity because why not? Dexterity is great. It's always a useful thing to have. Okay, so that means that I have to assign my best rolls. I'm going to put the 15, I think, into my charisma. That makes sense. And then the other 15 I will put into dexterity because that will help with ranged attacks and also my armor class. Then I'm going to put the 13s into intelligence and constitution. And that leaves the 11s for wisdom and strength. So overall, my character is very much above average, I would say. Any roll between 9 and 12 has a modifier of 0. So I have no benefit to my strength, but also no negative. My 13s are both +1s. So that's a +1 for my con and a +1 for my intelligence, which is fantastic. And my 15s are also +1. So +1 to my charisma, +1 to my dex. Fantastic. So because I have a +1 con bonus, that means my starting hit points are going to be 11 at first level because I'm level 1. At first level, bards get a D10 for hit points, so 10 is my max at first level. +1 for my con gives me an 11. I will write in class abilities as a bard. Okay, so we have Decipher Script, which I'm going to put a little parentheses, that's my intelligence, because it's intelligence-based. Exalt, that's charisma. And then last but not least, Legend Lore. And I can add in more notes if I need to, but it's pretty easy when you have the book or the PDF to just look up those things. So that is, in short form, what I would do. And I could even write down the pages, so I could write down page 23 just as a reference. Starting gold for a bard is going to be 3d4 times 10. Here's my 3d4 times 10. Hey, look at that. 4 + 2 + 3, so that's 9. So I have 90 gold to start off with. And I'm going to go shopping. All right, so I get a +1 modifier with my daggers, +1 modifier with my short sword, no modifier with my short bow, no modifier with my short sword because I have a strength of 11, which is kind of poop. So my cumulative awesome amounts of modifiers as a bard are +1, +1, and 0. So my bard kind of is not fantastic in combat, and that's okay because this is going to be fun to play anyway, or he'll die right away. So either way, that's how easy it is to make this character, and I'm pretty much ready to rock. If this was interesting to you, if you enjoyed this process, if you'd like to see more character builds and explorations into the different classes and options in Castles and Crusades, please comment on this video. And if you'd like to support what we do here on the channel, you can join us at patreon.com/BillAllenWorld, where I have a variety of tiers to fit your budgetary needs. Until we meet again, happy gaming, and may the dice gods always roll in your favor. Are you recording now? Yeah. First things first. God damn it, Karafa. What do you mean it's too close? I don't want to see anything else.
Here, put the dice on there.
Look. Can you dig it? I can, man.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bill Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you were just watching and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.